Hello guys, seriously, I'm absolutely beaten today. I woke up this morning in a really good mood, but with a body that just didn't want to go in the same direction. And do you know, it doesn't matter how much I try, this fucking condition beats me all the time. For those of you who don't know what is at the root of everything that I do and what I go through, is that my physical body has this condition called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. This is the root of why I've had social in. This is the root of, why I had social in when I was a kid. This is why I've had all the medical stuff. Why I've had goodness knows how many fingers up my asses, tubes down my fucking throats, investigations, psychological reports and everything. And you know what? I didn't even want to come live today. I can't be arsed with it. I don't want to talk about it. But I'm banging my head against a brick wall with everybody around me. And it's annoying me because it's a catch-22 on who do I turn to. You know, who is it right now, today, that's going to come and give me a hand to help pick up all the DVDs and things like that, because I'm fucking exhausted. And it's if you've got a home full of well stabled ground people, and everybody is active and healthy and lovely, and your whole family can go down to the park and sit on the park and throw a ball with each other. For somebody like me, that takes so much planning. Let me show you something. This is the management EDS manual. Yes, this is the manual for how to deal with EDS. So literally on the very, very first page, yes, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome is the name given to a group of heritable disorders of connective tissue. It is characterized by the abnormalities of the skin, ligaments, internal organs, and may be life-threatening. I live with this every day. My children have the same condition. Every single one of my children have the same condition. I am not a specialist. I am not a doctor. I am not a GP. I am not a physiotherapist. I am not a nurse. But I have to be my own every day. And it's not as simple as taking a break. It's not as simple as taking a break. In fact, this is me taking a break. This is me taking a break. Kelly Cottam, on full steam, would not be out of Parliament day in, day out, mate. I'd be there at 9 o'clock in the morning, I'd be in there, and I'd be leaving at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. I would be banging on it with every single person. But the challenge is we as individuals are all entitled rights to live to our fullest potential, to be the best version of ourselves. And sometimes people have physical conditions or mental health conditions, or and yes, rest makes it worse. I've rested today and I feel worse for it. I feel so much worse for it. When the babies went to bed at 12 o'clock, I went and laid down with them because I was so tired. Rather than getting up and pushing through and carrying on, I went to bed with them, and I'm exhausted, and I'm glad I can go to bed. But I'll tell you what, I've made the decision on Monday, I'm signing on sick. I'm signing on sick. It's as simple as that. I'm being failed left, right and centre with this condition, right? It affects the skin, so hence why you'll notice that my skin is slightly different to everybody else's. What do you want me to do? Are you ready for this? It's quite funny. What would you like me to do? Let me stick you on there. I need one of them thingamajigs. So my skin is doughier than everybody else's. I have no earlobes. So if you see the skin on the back of my hands and stuff, my skin
is different, and it makes it itch all the time, and it irritates me all the time. And it's like washing your hands with a bar of soap and washing your face with soap, and it just feels tight all day. And it means that I'm covered in bruises all the time. It means that I don't heal from injuries as much as other people. My joints are lax all the time, and this is what is doing my fucking nut in, because I am literally, there you go, all day, every single joint in my body, from, I've got frown lines today because I'm in so much fucking pain. Like, can you see the veins coming up on my arm, on my hands? Yeah, that means that I'm at the level right now where it just means that I will either collapse, or I'll go into catatagia, rhythm, whatever it is, or potentially can go into complete paralyzed seizure, right? Now, I watch this all the time because I have to keep going. Even now, I am struggling to speak. I'm struggling. You can't see it. You just see me. Hence why I don't have my hair up. It's like, even today, I just wanted to go out today, and I've got no petrol in the car, which is doing my nut in, and it would cost me a fortune at the moment to be able to go down and park down by the seafront or drive the car to get down there. I haven't got the strength to push the double buggy today, and and the boys are so young, it's not as easy as, they still want to be carrying on shoulders and things like that. And what annoys me is I'm exactly the same point with Aaron and Faith, and people can say, why is this woman, have children and stuff like that? It's because you get people around you and you explain it to them, and they say they get it. And they say they won't let you down, and the reality is they do. It's like, I've texted Dean today, hey, what are you doing? I was just chilling in a park listening to some music and might go into the studio later. Yeah, he could be sitting in the park with the fucking kids right now so I could rest properly. Or, I've told every father that I've had kids with, every man that I've had a relationship with, I've told them from day one, I'm diagnosed with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. This is what the condition is. This is how it affects me. This is what it means for me on a daily basis. This is because Asperger's goes hand in hand with EDS. It's a relationship. That's the brain relationship with the physical body, actually. It goes hand in hand. Seriously, I've got sweet corn stuck in my tooth. And what annoys me is people like me are either dependent on the system or dependent on family, friends and community. There is no way that somebody like me is capable of doing everything that we need to do without some form of help and support. Or we have to live laying flat on our backs, watching TV and maybe writing. Facebook Crackbook was probably one of the best inventions for somebody like me, because when I was at home with my kids, and it was Messenger initially, I'm seriously, my body is just wanting to go, and I am literally holding myself up. I am holding myself up right now. It's like people sometimes have a go at me over pain control, pain management, things like that. I was just going to go and get my charger, because initially, like, I put a post up this morning with a girl and saying it wasn't, seriously, I can't even think straight. It wasn't, this is called brain fog, brain fog. And there's actually a clinical diagnosis in EDS called brain fog. And it's when we just get to a point where everything just seems to blah, 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 blah. And we just get completely, like, couldn't tell you what day it was, what time it was, whether we were meant to be doing stuff, if we've got stuff on that day. But what annoys me is Aaron and Faith didn't get taken from me because Like, what's the matter, dude? Because, like, you know, I'm not capable of looking after my kids. Liam and Daniel, I had kids carers and things, so it gave the kids a break because, like the court said, the kids will grow up to be my carer, and that's why they said I couldn't have my babies, because they said I would grow up to be my carer. And it's like, yeah, I could really do with someone today, just to be able to go out and about, just to have been able to have gone and done some normal things today. You know, like, people don't realise, like, getting the kids in and out of the car, or, like, I've always had certain adaptations, and I'm really struggling now. And I'm really, really, really annoyed, because when I came to Portsmouth, I told them everything. I went right... I'm all right, darling. I went right the way back to Kelly, who was born here, who was left in a crib, jaundiced yellow, with dislocated joints and body, and just completely left. So if you had a broken arm and you went to the doctors and to the hospital, and they turned around and said, oh, you got a broken arm, 10 years later, still living with it, do you know what I mean? And it's like, I've got to go back through there, dude. It's like, when I had Aaron and Faith, I ended up in A&E because the back of my neck here, I have what's called a Chiari malformation, and it only shows on an upright MRI. If you put me on a laying down MRI, it doesn't quite show. And if anyone's ever noticed with me, when I turn my neck, I'm actually quite stiff and rigid. Nobody actually ever picks up the characteristics of somebody with EDS. So if you know somebody, even somebody with, say, arthritis or lupus or stuff like that. Now, you could turn around and say that we have DNA contracted conditions healed. So, you know, like... Okay, if I try to... Seriously, there you go. My hands are coming up massively now. So can you see the veinage coming up on my hands now? So that pretty much means that my blood is pumping around my body the wrong way right now. And what it does is it causes... they call it POTS, postural tachycardia stuff. That's just because I've been on the floor. Look, seriously, you can see it all. And it's not because I'm 41 and I've got old hands. It's been like this my whole life. And it's like, I got to go to this doctor's appointment on Monday. I've got to go and meet a whole new GP again. So I've never met this doctor before. She's got to sit there in front of her with my medical notes, which at the top of it says that I'm child protection. And I'm not child protection, but their computer system can't fucking sort its shit out. And then I've got all these 22 wrongful years of diagnosis on the system. And I've got to go in for fucking 5 minutes on Monday and sit down. Yeah, I've been on this longer than 5 minutes and I still haven't got my point out. And I have to sit there with this woman and say, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I am. And then they'll put the labels on it: depressed, suppressed, battling with suicide. I don't battle with suicide because I have low self-esteem and low worth. I battle with suicide because today, like today, I just want to collapse. I just want to collapse. I just want to lay down. But the reality is I've got 2 little babies. My little baby here has managed to, look at him, cutie. His little... I got the train set out. He's got the DVDs out. And I've got washing up to do. And it's like Dean and Liam just don't get it. Like, I'm like a banshee in the morning when I wake up, right? And it's because I cannot cope with the residual of yesterday. I have to complete my day in every 24 hours. Because, one, I might not get the next 24 hours. So I might not wake up. So the fact that I even wake up is a really good thing. And I feel very blessed to wake up. Of course I do. The fact is I can have a heart attack during my sleep. Or what happens is my body just doesn't pump back in. So
when I wake up in the morning and I have that first minute where I know full well that my soul's coming back into my body and I'm coming back into the world. Sorry, darling?
A drink?
Yeah, I'll get you a drink, darling. What'd you say?
Say thank you.
Well, you don't say thank you until I've done it. You say please. You know, so when I wake up, I want to wake up to feeling my fella's arms wrapping around into my waist, pulling me in, you know, and yes, I want to be fucked in the morning. Is there anything wrong with that? Because one, it's a painkiller, and two, it helps you actually move your joints and everything. So yes, having my husband and my man in my life as an EDS person is very important to me, because if you wake up on your own with EDS, about the only thing that you're reaching over to is the remote control to push your telly on, to literally put your head back into it and try to get through that day. When you got EDS and you got kids, it's your kids that get you up every day. It's your kids that give you the incentive to push through every day. It's your kids that keep you going. You know, I'm annoyed with Dean today because he's gone and quit this fucking job, and his attitude is, I'm not getting up for 50 quid cash in hand a day. Well, right now, I'm the one that's now going to have to go to work, because I cannot live off of just short of £900 a month. Because one, my physio cost me more than that a year. Like, you know, it cost me anywhere between 25 and 50 quid for physio a time. Yes, you can get it on the NHS, but not for our condition. What people need to understand is they're going on about privatising the NHS, but people like me, it's been privatised the whole time. Yes, we had Professor Graham. Yes, we had Professor Bird. Yes, they worked for the NHS. Yes, they were in high demand. Yes, they had massive amounts of people coming through to them. And yes, they got old and they've now retired, and we've got a few new people. You know, there's a post that says, it laughs that an EDS person goes to A&E and the doctor actually knows what EDS is, and you're like, huh? You know, well, every time the paramedics are in and out of here, I always say to them, do you know what Ehlers-Danlos syndrome is? And they always say no, and I always say, remind me never to call an ambulance for as long as I live here, because you're the 10th person to tell me that you don't know what it is. Like, I mean, I've been taken in for my jaw locking and completely being open while intimate. I've been taken into A&E with my knees, my hips, my stuff. But when you're a mother, and especially when you're a single mother, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that?
I'm sorry.
I suggest you are sorry. Now get a cloth and tidy it up. There you go. You made a mess, you tidy it up. Get it tidied up properly, thank you. Don't do that with your milk, do you? Can you wipe it up, please? Come on. Yeah, and this bit, wipe it up, clean it all up. Not your slave, am I? Alright, there we go. You don't do that, and that's not what you do, and now you're going to break your car. Yeah, there you go. Please don't do that. So, what was I saying? Oh, seriously. Seriously, I do. It's like, I mean, people might know me. I've been an on and off cannabis smoker for years. And I'm even at the point where even... doesn't matter. Morphine, paracetamol, painkillers, it doesn't matter. Doesn't touch it anymore. It just doesn't touch it anymore. It's not like I'm dealing with a sprained ankle. In fact, I've got 3 sprained ankles, if that makes sense. You know, my knees don't stay in, my hips don't stay in, my shoulder doesn't stay in, my fingers don't stay in. Even while I'm holding this, my phone, you know, I'm holding it with my hand having to... Are you ready? There you go, because it just stiffens up. I just go rigid like Rick and Morphy. Sometimes you'll see me and I'm a bit, you know, I look like I'm moving around. That's why I like my roller skates, to be honest, because my roller skates force me to move. It makes it easier to get round. It makes it easier to move. But this is what's annoying me, and this is what's frustrating me. I've got so much I want to do as an individual, so much that I enjoy doing that I just can't do. Like even now, my spine is going. In fact, I've just pulled my disc in my back of my neck.
and it annoys me because in this country, adult social services deem it as in, can you wipe your arse? Can you put a tin of soup in the microwave? And can you walk without severe deterioration? In fact, I can tell you, where is it? I've probably got, where, I tell you what, let's fucking show you. Where's me pip form, you cunts? Yeah? Me fucking pip form. I've had enough of this system, I really have, because people like me are taking their lives on a daily basis because they can't cope with the day in, day out pain, and people not understanding it and people not getting it because we look well, or oh, David, I need some stickers, mate. Not some of these stickers, but I need some of our stickers. I can get some stickers on a fucking wall. At least it gets me out walking. And this is why disabled to enabled was so important to me as well, because I'm sick and tired of a country that says, oh, you've got this label, therefore you're disabled, you can't do this, you're useless, and therefore you have no relevance to society whatsoever. Look, I mean, this is a little girl. Yeah, this is a poster for EDS. So this is for classroom. This is for people with EDS that are sitting in classrooms. And I got worse than this. I have had my fingers slapped by a fucking ruler. I have had Gripper put her hands on the back of it and force me down to start working again. I have been kicked out of classrooms. I have been told that I'm a liar and attention seeker. And because I wiggle on a chair or I sort of rock around, because I'm in, listen to this, there you go. Are we ready for this? So because this little girl has EDS, she will have writing pain, poor posture, poor legibility, poor grip, weak focus. In general, she will tire easily, often dizzy, gets headaches, feels nauseous. Do you know how many times every time I used to tell my teachers I used to feel sick and they used to have a go at me and put me in detention? Movements, poor coordination, slow to the, like different, like if it's, like today, it's